Fun question with a really surprising answer. Do you need a will in the state of Florida? No. And what happens if you die without a will? Well, there's all kinds of lawyers out there and private parties selling people the idea that you got to do a will. You got to do a trust. Doing the trusting really drives me bonkers because the vast majority of people don't need a trust, and these companies and lawyers that are selling trusts are just selling people problems and making money that's completely unnecessary. The reality is, for many, many people, you just don't need a will at all. And who are those people? What's the class of people? If you only been married once and you're pretty cool with your spouse, or you don't want your stuff going anywhere else, your spouse is going to get just about everything anyway. If you don't have multiple marriages, multiple kids, multiple whatever, sometimes you don't even need a will, period. Now, and if you don't have a bunch of assets, probably don't need a will. The goal of every lawyer should be to do estate planning so someone doesn't need a will. You need a will when you haven't done your estate planning properly. So if somebody's dying and they got their full capacity and everything, just about everything can be set up so that at death it all just transfers to the wife, kids, whatever. You don't have to go through the time, trouble, and expense of paying a lawyer. So here I am talking people out of lawyers' fees. That's a good one. But the deal that people need to understand is that the laws regarding dying without a will, called intestate succession, have been developed over hundreds of years in this country. And they exist primarily to protect spouses and minor children. There's some very thoughtful things that intestate succession provides. Key thing, again, in my mind, is making sure that wife has somewhere to live if the husband dies, or spouse, or whatever. If you got minor kids, likewise, that those folks are protected. And then we have this whole other paradigm that you go down of, if you don't have a wife, then do you have kids? No. If you don't have a wife, don't have kids. Then the next one, it goes to brothers, sisters. Don't have brothers, sisters. I go mother and dads before that, then brothers, sisters. But again, even though I've been doing this 25 years, I got to sit there and look at the chart and determine if you don't have a will and you don't have a wife or kids, you got to figure out exactly where that stuff goes. And lots of interesting things start happening with stepkids and stepdaughters and step this and half that. So again, it's one of those complicated ones that if you're interested in this subject, subscribe, leave a comment, ask a question, be happy to provide additional follow-up information.